Live. Hey guys, what's up? It's Reflex, and I want to make a video. This is a really sad video for me to make. But I want to talk about why COD is dead, and how they should have fixed it, and how they could have gone about fixing it before it got to this point. As of right now, there's not a whole lot they can do. There really isn't. I'd say the entire next few 3 or so years of future of COD kind of depended on this beta. It kind of did. Because it's the first impressions, and that first impressions, especially for a game that's dying out, is going to make everything. And if that first impression is a bad one, then that's not good. And it's not good for the COD franchise, and it's not good for any franchise to have a first impression that's negative on anything. Whether it be the full release, the end of the game, the end of the game's life cycle, that is, or the beta, or early access, however you want to put it. Now, the game is. Call of Duty is dying, and it's been dying for years. It went back into irrelevancy, and first started its irrelevancy back in Advanced Warfare, in my bit relevant, but I don't think it was really dead. I think it started to die with Advanced Warfare, and then COD. I think Black Ops 3 was kind of a small resurgence for COD because it's Treyarch, and I think that they did a good job with Black Ops 3, and I think they really brought it home with Black Ops 3. The only thing that's really god awful about Black Ops 3 is the campaign, and it's just because they rushed it, which I'm happy they didn't put a campaign in Black Ops 4 because it would have probably ended up like Black Ops 3's campaign. But Black Ops 3 lasted 3 years, and it's probably going to last even longer because Black Ops 4 I don't see having longevity. But, and then with Infinite Warfare, the series just took a dive, and it plummeted downhill hard because nobody gave that game a chance, and nobody, for good reason by the way, nobody gave the game a chance for good reason. And it's just sad. And World War II was supposed to be the resurgence of COD once again, and it just didn't bring anything home. It didn't bring anything new. It was supposed to be a return to roots, and it didn't get good until basically now with the new event that just came out. And even then, it's still not very playable. The multiplayer is still cancerous, and the zombies is still boring and has no charm to it. And with Black Ops 4 coming out. I know I skipped over Modern Warfare Remastered just because the game's dead as of now. It's not very active, and it never really was in my eyes. But I know that it was for a while, but it never really went that much into relevancy, and I don't see it as a big step for COD because it's a remastered game. It's not an original game. Uh, but with Black Ops 4, um, the first impression for this beta, I wanted it to be at least okay. To a bad start. And with this game, it had to have been good. Otherwise, it was over. Everybody knew this. Even Treyarch knew this. If this game is bad, the franchise is done. Because me and a lot of other people are not willing to buy any more COD games after this because we've been burned by Infinity Ward twice and burned by Sledgehammer twice. So, with COD, in my opinion, we haven't really been burnt yet. All three, or granted 4 games, because We're at War is a thing. All 4 of the games so far have been okay. They've all been passable games, and they've all been okay, or good at that. So, with Black Ops 4, everybody had really high expectations because it's supposed to be the actual resurgence of COD, and it was supposed to be the game that brought back fans, and was like, this game's fucking made by Treyarch. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Fans are gonna love it, and they literally said this. We have the best 3-year slate planned in COD history. Oh no, is all I have to say. If Black Ops 4 is considered a good slate, then oh no. But yeah, the game is just, it's frustrating because they lost touch of what made COD great in the first place. It was never the esports scene. COD has never been an esports friendly game. It's always been a casual game, just to have casual fun with your friends. And that's what COD started out as, and that's what it has always been. For me, anyway, and for a lot of other people, it's never been about the competitive scene. Ever. And I don't see it even now as a competitive game. I'm never interested in any of the competitive COD things, ever. I mean, I watch some phase members, sure, but I don't watch them because they're phase. I watch them because, and I only watch one. I watch Face Sensor because he's a cool guy, and I like his channel. I don't watch him because of that phase that he has attached to his name. Because I don't give a shit about the COD competitive scene. And I don't give a shit about Zombies World Championship either. I mean, I give more of a shit than the multiplayer side of it, but Zombies is fun. It's supposed to be a laid-back game mode. It's not supposed to be like a competitive game mode, really. I mean, you can make it a competitive game mode, and it works better than multiplayer in terms of being competitive. But the point is, COD lost touch of what made it great. It was never about the competitive scene. It was always about being laid back. And with Black Ops 4, with World War II, let's start off with this. With World War II, that game was very laid back and calm. It wasn't really competitive, for me at least. It was the epitome of a laid back experience, and what would have made it even push through with being great is better maps and better guns. Because the gun balance and everything else just isn't good. So that would push World War II to greatness. Because it's what made COD, which is a laid back, casual experience. And with Black Ops 4, what ruins it is that the game isn't striving to be that anymore. It's striving to be something different. And something, it's trying to be an esports game and competitive game, but that's never been what the main majority of COD players want. We don't want a competitive shooter. We want a laid back, dumb means is that everybody else who is just a laid back COD player and casual player can't enjoy the game because of all the sweaty tryhards and competitive people in the multiplayer. It's Black Ops 4 is a horrible experience for people like me because of that. Because I'm not amazing at the game and I'm just a casual player. I don't play like competitive in COD. Sure, I play competitive in Rainbow. I don't, but that's a competitive game. COD has never been a competitive game. And that's why I'm scared. I'm scared for COD, and I'm scared because I care about the game series. I grew up on Halo and COD. I mean, I'm still growing up, but you know what I mean. My earliest memory of playing a game, believe it or not, was Keynote or Toten. My first time playing it, my goal was to get to round 10, and me and my little brother would always get the shit scared out of us by the Hellhounds, and we couldn't make it past that round. So we would always strive for getting around 10. And one day I beat it, and my little brother was so mad at me. He was like, "How dare you? You didn't do it without me." Because we would always play split screen in our living room. And yeah, that's what made COD great, is those memories. And then I grew up on Halo and COD. And I left Halo behind because they followed in the same path that COD did, sort of, but in an opposite path. Halo was always the competitive game. It really was. Until they decided to make it like COD and make it a laid back, dumb, fun shooter. And that's what kind of ruined Halo for me, but I haven't played a Halo game since Halo 4 in 2012, so I can't really say anything. But with COD, they're taking it in a new direction, and I can't applaud them for that. But the way they're doing it is not good, and it's not a good sign for the future. I hope that they reflect upon the bad beta launch and they change some stuff. But It's too late for that. The change in Black Ops 4 is so drastic that not only does it take getting used to, you can't really get used to it because the game punches itself in the face with all of its problems. Because they don't complement the game, they don't complement the gameplay. So, with COD, with Black Ops 4, it's gonna be dead. It's doom. It's doomed. It's done. COD is done, and as soon as we can move on from that, the better we'll be. In terms of multiplayer, I'm not gonna play any more Black Ops 4. I wanted to cover the beta on this channel, but I can't because it's not something I enjoy playing. Because they ruined what made it good for me, which is just a laid back, dumb, fun shooter. And they ruined that in Black Ops 4, what made COD great. And I hope the zombies in Blackout pull through, because otherwise, I'm not gonna play Black Ops 4. If the entire game is like that, then I'm not gonna force myself to play it. And sure, I'm still pumped for the Blackout mode and the zombies mode. But I don't want to get too hyped, because I wasn't that excited for the multiplayer to begin with. But after seeing the tragedy that the multiplayer is, it's scary because it's scary. And it's scary because the multiplayer is in such a bad shape. I hope that the Blackout and zombies are different. But the most scary thing is if they aren't, and if they're the same competitive bullshit, they only have they have less than 2 months at this point to make a playable game. And if the Blackout beta doesn't pull through, guys, this game's gonna fucking crash and burn, just like Infinite Warfare and World War II. It's done. If the Blackout beta doesn't pull through, the game series is done as a whole. And sure, there'll always be that group of people who like the game. But the main majority of people who played COD back in the glory days are not going to enjoy what Black Ops 4 has to offer at this current time. Maybe later. Maybe towards the beginning of release, they'll have the game fixed. I hope they do. Because I want to play Black Ops 4 and I want to love it. But I can't in its current state. And like I said, it scares me because I really want to love the game. I don't want to hate on it. I really don't want to, but I have to make this kind of video to urge you guys to stay away from this type of game and these types of developers who just want money. What made Fortnite great is, or for a lot of people, or I guess I should say successful. What made it successful? Because I don't like Fortnite. What made it successful is that it doesn't try to rip off the player at every turn. It doesn't flow with the new thing. It creates something new and different. And it improves upon itself week after week, which I can applaud Epic Games for, even though I don't like their game. With COD, every year they take something from another game that worked, and they implement it in their game, and it doesn't fucking work because they try to mix it in with the COD formula that they do every year, and it doesn't really work. And the worst offender is Black Ops 4. They tried to fuse it with Overwatch, and they tried to fuse it with Rainbow, but it really doesn't work in their favor. So, I want to close out this video by saying, I'm giving a message to Treyarch, even though they won't say this or see this video. Please fix Call of Duty. Listen to the fans. They are what made you great in the first place. Listen to them. Take their feedback to heart. Make the game great again. And who knows? Maybe Blackout will be great. And it will. And if it is great, then it'll bring the game back to relevancy. But I hope that Blackout is great. Or at least I hope that the second weekend of the beta is great. Because I know that they probably won't fix all the problems that are in the game right now. They can't. in a weekend, and in 7 days they can't do that. It's nearly impossible. So what I hope is that Call of Duty fixes their mistakes, and um, if they don't do it in this game and before fucking halfway through the game's life cycle, then the game is gonna crash and burn. And by the time the Infinity Ward announce their next game, nobody's gonna give a shit because everybody's gonna leave COD. So I'm gonna distance myself from Black Ops 4. I'm not gonna play it anymore until Blackout comes out, and then I'll make my final decision once Blackout comes out. If I'm gonna pre-order the game, or uh, if I'm gonna let the game die, for me at least. So this has been me. Uh, I don't want to title this video a rant because it's not a rant. It's more of a calm video, basically explaining my problems with the game. So if you hate my opinion, even though it's a truthful opinion, if you hate it, then oh well. If you like it, then cool. But I will see you guys later. I know I keep saying that in all my videos, but my internet is weird and it's not really good enough for streaming. I wanted to stream last night because me and Taz made it to a really high round on Origins, but I couldn't because everybody lags on my connection, so I don't want to do that. So once I get home, I'll probably stream a little bit. Uh, but yeah, that's the reason why I've been trying to pull out these daily videos like these, is because I don't want to leave you guys abandoned. But I will be back streaming on Tuesday, because on Tuesday I'm doing my second recruitment for R4RR. If you want to join that, go right ahead. Nothing's stopping you. But yeah, I will see you guys later. Peace.